Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Two shows are back to back. That's how much excitement is in crypto right now. Today, of course, in this session, we're going to be talking about TORUS rocking TITANX. I say it again, TORUS rocking TITANX. It is going to be a fun show going through this. 3 weeks now, 21 days. TORUS has been operating from, I would say, super brain crypto graphics out there, doing some amazing stuff with tokenomics, flipping TITANX tokenomics on its head, and it is a real game changer. We've been looking for this, as you guys know, in crypto. One of the cool things about being in DeFi is some of the advanced tokenomics that we're seeing and people creating something that's really, really fresh and amazing. And I think crypto graphics may very well be on to the holy grail of crypto. And the closer we get to that, the more bullish we see value get created over time. And so I'm really excited about covering TORUS and seeing where it goes. 21 days into it so far, and we're not really expecting too many challenges until maybe day 27. But so far, we're already seeing the protocol operate better than expected on many of the dimensions. And so we're going to go through that today. It's going to be really, really fun to go through. Now, we're going to try and queue up another stream with crypto graphics maybe next week. So look forward to that. He's now got an X Space running right at the moment. So if you want to hear him talk about that, jump in there as well. But we're going to go through pretty much TORUS after 3 weeks, 21 days, which is kind of that first early stage. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know in the chat there if you're in TORUS, how you're feeling about it, what your experiences is. Let us know in the chat there. It'd be really, really cool to see you. And of course, as Q Ballers in the house says, well done, Steve. Can't wait for Unity on Pulse Chain. Yeah, that's the other connection, right? That TORUS is now on Ethereum, on TITANX, but is also coming to Pulse Chain Unity. So very, very excited. And yeah, just like it uses TITANX, it's going to be a lot of fun over here on the old Pulse chain. And of course, taking in Pulse as well, another demand for Pulse required there. So it's what we're expecting. Of course, this is part of a bigger roadmap, and we're going to get into that today as much as possible also. And potentially, I'm going to theorize about some of the things I think may be coming. Of course, I don't know the full roadmap. I'm just going to take some good guesses based on some clues out there, but we're going to see how it plays out. But very, very cool. Great to see Q-Ball in the house there. Now, if you guys aren't sharing the show out on X, definitely get out there and do that. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the share. And if you're new to the channels, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like buttons as well. And definitely check out Crypto Graphics there on YouTube, X, and of course, give him a follow as well, the founder of TORUS. Very, very exciting. So let's get into it without further ado. Let's get into the mix here. So we're going to jump over to the protocol and have a quick look at that first of all, just to get abreast of it. Let's see here, abreast of it. That's some language there, but let's get to it. We're going to check it out. So let's go. Bam! Here we go. So this is TORUS. So this is TORUS.win, and you can hit it up and check it out. They do have full documents as well and audits and things like that. This is I think triple audited, so it's a very, very, it's just part of the TITANX way is to get things completely audited there. So that is TORUS.win. So you can check out the site if you want to get in there. Now, this is a little different from others. Like typically we do like mining and TITANX, something like that, or minting. Mining and minting. This has got creating. So you're creating here instead. And there's some differences the way this works out. Now, I want to get straight off the bat. This has kind of got a little bit of a flavor of an ROI protocol, but really it's a staking protocol, right? So it really is a staking protocol. So I think that's something you should think about as you enter TORUS. And obviously always do your own due diligence on it. There are documents, right, that you can get to on the website. So they've got all the contracts down the bottom here and the documents. I suggest you read those and watch videos from Crypto Graphics, who's got a lot of how-to videos, and he's one of the best out there doing how-to videos. So definitely check that out too. So very, very exciting. So TORUS, beautiful site, obviously. But the two things you can do is you can create. So think you've still got that staking idea, and think about when you're staking, this has a share system. So the more shares you have, the more the rewards you get. Basically, the earlier you get in, the more the rewards, all the sort of features that you get. But here's a really key part, and that is that not only when you create TORUS, basically bring it into, you get your share of TORUS, because the inflation itself is kind of fixed, and then they add this declining inflation addition every day, and the max there could ever be is 125 million. That's kind of the idea of the amount of inflation that will be in play there. So unlike TITANX, where you're creating additional inflation, this is not doing that. You're actually just getting shares, and that shares is giving you a share of a sort of a fixed inflation profile, which is declining over time. So the aggregated amount's declining, it's going up, but it's actually increasing at a decreasing rate, right? So that's kind of the basic idea. So you're actually getting a share of that. You're not actually adding to it like we see in TITANX, for example. And so this is a very, very powerful difference, and that's why creating is different. But not only do you do it when you create shares, basically in TORUS, you're also getting it in staking. So when you stake, you get shares as well, and so those shares are all added to the share pool, and so you got more people creating and staking that are all getting an allocation of shares, and they're getting more of that fixed inflation profile. So it's a very different mechanism, and I think this is exciting. I think it's exciting, and therefore we're going to get a flatter inflation and a better distribution dramatically in the future. And that's a very big, important thing to remember as we move forward through there. So that's really one of the big secret sources there. At the moment, of course, if you're creating, the yield is encouraging you to do a lot of creating, and that's 16,339% at the moment because the price of TORUS is super, super well over $10 right now. Now, also, we've got ETH. You can obviously go use TITANX, or you can use ETH to do creation. So you can use either or. And then, of course, you can go to staking. So you can go to staking. You do pay a little bit of 5% premium in here, so it captures a bit of extra value. So you get charged a little bit more. And the ROI at the moment is 3,000% right now. But you also get shares, right? So you get shares for staking and you get shares for creating, and they all compete in the reward pool, for the reward pool. So very cool feature here, and one of the key things you should think about. So that's a bit of an overview right now. But of course, as value goes into it, as people create and stake, value is going into the buy and burn treasury, right? And so at the moment, we've got the buy and burn treasury looking very, very good indeed. We've got currently 33 ETH in the buy TORUS. We've got 129 billion TITANX sitting in the buy TORUS side. And so altogether, that's what, almost 350,000 US dollars worth of value. And that's with TORUS, that's with TITANX down at the pretty much the all-time lows right now. So if TITANX reverses and gets in an uptrend, this all blows up. Now, if Ethereum gets to these big numbers of 15,000 by the end of the year, the whole ETH value blows up. So this whole treasury blows up in value. So that 350, even if a little bit of it's used over time, could end up blowing up into millions of dollars. And this is not a joke. We're right here on the precipice of this big bull market, and it's exciting to see. Now we've also got, in addition to the buy and burn, we've got the buy and build. This builds up liquidity. So the buy and burn buys TORUS and burns it. The buy and build builds up liquidity for TORUS, giving it a thicker liquidity pool, more I guess, a floor protection, more for sellers or buyers. It gives, got bigger whales coming in. So it's got lots of mechanisms with having bigger liquidity in the pool. And of course, we can see we've got 20 ETH, 75,000 here, and $156,000 of TITANX, 815 billion TITANX in here as well. So this is additive. You've got to add this together, buy and burn the 350. Then you've got to add it together here with this, which has got another $230,000. And so now you're really getting up big, right? You're getting up big here. So you got, you're up to 580, almost 600K of value there. And of course, if Ethereum booms by the end of the year, which is what we're expecting, it's currently about $3,700. If it gets up to 15K by the end of the year, because we've got big buyers coming in the market like Tom Lee and Bitmine, then this all blows up, right? TITANX gets a reversal in the chart. Maybe that's next month. Who knows? Maybe TORUS is going to make it happen. TORUS has definitely made an impact on TITANX, regardless of the price where it is at the moment. And that goes up to the right. It's all game on, right? And so, yeah, this could all blow up in value, and it's already significantly really good there. So, absolutely fantastic. And then on top of that, we've got the fractal, another addition to the treasury, and this has already got $155,000 in it. Isn't that crazy? $155,000. It's sitting on 13 ETH and 553 TITANX. So pretty spectacular. Now I was gonna jump to this because I want to talk about this quickly, and that is we've got the TORUS here at the moment. This is the TORUS dashboard, but I'm only picking up one element of this because we're going to come back to this later on, and that is the amount of value that's gone in here. But we're going to get back to that. So the amount of ETH deposited so far, 85 Ethereum. Now, as this gets over 100 ETH, this is very, very important because we have the strategic ETH reserve, and to get on this reserve, you need to have over 100 Ethereum sitting in that buy and burn treasury. So as we get that treasury in particular up, obviously we have a certain amount of ETH come in, it gets allocated in many ways, but as we get that treasury up over 100 ETH, it could get itself registered on this strategic ETH reserve. I'm not kidding you. it'd be amazing to see it. You just have to apply and pester them, and you get yourself on there, and you'd be even you're at the bottom, you're still on the reserve list. And that's a lot. This is going to be looked at a lot by a lot of people over this bull market cycle. It's already on centralized exchange news briefs and everything else. And of course, you could get yourself in here at over 100 ETH. So TORUS is about to enter that play. So we've got TITANX, we've got DragonX, potentially Helios, and of course TORUS entering it. We could have 4 projects that get itself on the strategic ETH reserve. It's pretty exciting. All the way from number 67 all the way up to maybe number 26, 27 on the rich list here on the ETH strategic reserve, which is pretty exciting. And that currently has 2.26% of all Ethereum, 2.73 million Ethereum here. And we know at the top that these top players are pushing the price of Ethereum up, and we've got a price target of 15K by the end of the year, but even bigger prices into 26 and beyond. So it's pretty exciting. And of course, Bitmine there looking to buy 6 million coins, currently 625,000. So that is a mega theme, and it's a theme that TORUS can enjoy as part of the bigger picture. Now, zooming back to TORUS itself, we have got some exciting stuff happening here. So $10.12 is the market price right now. Let's have a quick look at that. There's the market price. Isn't it awesome? $10.12. Now, we're not really expecting too much impacts here until maybe the day 27. We're just started day 22, so we only got 3 weeks in the charts right now. But look at this chart doing extremely well, way better, I think, than anyone could have imagined, even cryptographics. So $10.12 right now, looking good. Ethereum on the move. It launched at the right time. So the day it launched, Bitcoin popped. Bitcoin popped on the 10th of July, and this popped with it. So the time was fantastic. And look at the price up there, $10.12. Now, also, the important thing is that it's set new records here after 3 weeks. And look at this. The ratio to TITANX is up to 52.38 million. Now, TITANX is being pushed down, but the ratio here, the amount of TITANX coming into the system, 52 million TITANX per one TORUS. That is insane. Think about that. 52 million is crazy. It's pretty awesome. Now, we know that this mechanism that I was talking about, this flip between creating and staking, these 2 mechanisms where the yield flips over and encourages people to do staking or creating to get shares, it changes a lot, right? And so when TORUS hits down to this 10 million mark, just above it, it's going to slowly rise over time, but we'll use that as a benchmark. That would flip the staking and the creating. So it's another key thing to remember in this chart. So you always want to look at the TITANX ratio in that regards. But at the moment, the TITANX ratio is absolutely mooning to 52 million. And of course, we expected that it would have a good window, at least to day 27. And we'll talk about why that is a bit later. But that is the play there. Let's have a quick look at TITANX right now on the daily. We can see on the US price, TITANX has been pulled off after that nice little rally that it had. And it's now at 6 zeros, 1917. But what we really care about is the ETH ratio. So let's have a look at that. Remember, TITANX is the key coin into all these TITANX related projects, including TORUS as well. So we got the price down here pretty much near all-time lows, just bouncing off the bottom actually, and it was down at a low of 10 zeros 4600, which is pretty crazy, which I think is the all-time low. Not quite. We did have a low on 15th of April, just slightly lower than that at 4570. So it was slightly lower, but currently we're at 10 zeros 5200. So a pretty good entry for TITANX right now. Buy low, all that good stuff. Now, obviously, TITANX is sitting on a massive buy and burn. And of course, potentially, if we get the 15K Ethereum, it's going to be like over $100 million sitting in the ecosystem on TITANX. So it's got its own little magic carpet ride, let's say, as well. And of course, that would be boosted by being listed on that strategic ETH reserve as well. So that's kind of the bigger picture items. And of course, TORUS at the moment is just a superstar shining there as well. Now, we're going to be getting into the next part, which is not only can you create and stake to get shares and get part of that really, that really slowly increasing total pool. Remember, max 125 million, but of course, it's got a big buy and burn treasury. It's going to burn a lot of stuff off there as well. And then, of course, in addition to that, it's got a big roadmap. We're going to talk more about that coming up as well. I think it's pretty exciting. Now, on that point, we've got a few people in the chat there. We've got Hexvader, big shout out, Hexvader, howdy. We've got Brennan as well. Strategic ETH Reserve is free marketing. It absolutely is. And it's only going to get bigger, that marketing. That's why I'm saying these teams need to get themselves, if they've got over 100 ETH, they need to get themselves on the list. And so that might be only a week away for TORUS. It could be pretty exciting. So it's definitely something on the roadmap there. Massive marketing's going to get a lot of media attention. And it's going to be great. So Brendan says, howdy, folks. Good to see you, Brendan. Big shout out. Get in the chat there, folks. If you guys are in TORUS, tell me about your experience so far. 3 weeks in, guys. 3 weeks in. We can't start day 22. it's exciting times. We're currently 7.5 hours into day 22. Let's have a look at some of the overall stats on TORUS. And look, the payout pool per day is about $1 million now. As more people come in, this number's become more self-fulfilling, right? So obviously, these numbers are way higher than reality at the moment, but as we get more people coming, they actually become slowly and surely, just more percentage of it becomes more reality as we move forward in time. And of course, in addition to that, there's the buy and burn, and there is the roadmap coming up, which is a massive roadmap. I think cryptographic is going to surprise a lot of people, and already we're excited by what he's been doing. Now, the current distribution at the moment, we've got a very small supply, so I want to make that very clear at the moment. So, especially we only really start taking off in supply by really about day 27 and then day 40, etc. That's kind of how we're looking forward to that. So at the moment, we've got 1,830 tokens in liquid supply, 9%. We've got burn tokens, 3,000, 14.9%. So, a burn is bigger than a liquid supply. Don't you like that? How many protocols have got that? We've got staked at the moment, 6,097, which has been a little bit of a surprise to the upside. In fact, we've recently seen a bit more of that, which is kind of interesting. And then, of course, the supply in the LP is sitting at 46%, which is 9,400 tokens. That is our breakdown of the current distribution. We have a very small supply right now. We have the buy and burn operating a little bit, just eating up a bit of that, of course. And, of course, that's burned 3,000 tokens so far. So, ticking away. All right, so pretty crazy. But the heart and soul of it is the shares. So we're at 2.62 billion. So if we had, maybe someone come in with like 200,000, just keep a note of that, 2.62 billion. If we had someone come in, with let's say $200,000, we've had $900,000 in so far, so that would push us up to about 1.1 million. And of course, if you're a big whale, you only want to go into, maybe not any more than 10%, right? That's probably a rule of thumb there. And let's say that you did that, and you come in with a pretty decent bag. Now, I'm not sure how much that will be on the chart here. Let's have a quick look. I think what's the max on here? So max is 1 million. Yeah, that's a million on the power plus an 88 length. So max length will get you. That would be equivalent to 1 billion TITANX. 1 trillion TITANX. So someone came with 1 trillion TITANX. I can't remember how many whales are left like that around, but no doubt there's a couple. And of course, or if you came with 252 Ethereum, imagine that, 52 Ethereum, that would quickly get us in the ETH strategic reserve today, right? That would get us in there today. That's $192,000, so not 200, but just slightly lower than that. That would get you 761 million shares. 700, that's 750 million. So if you took that and you added that to the existing ones, so 2.6, then suddenly, what are you at there? 3.4, something like that. So 3.4 billion shares, and that would be very different environment, right? So if someone did do that, I'm not saying they're going to do that, but if someone did do that, that would be the case. Now, you might get someone recently coming into 100K. That's definitely 100K and 900K. That might work. And of course, you've got future people coming in. That could be a forward-looking play. Or you could get someone coming in with 20 to 50K. Maybe they'll do that, right? So that would definitely add quite a bit there as well. So in fact, let's actually add that in. And let's say someone comes in with 20K. Let's go on the lower end, and that would give them 76 million shares. So that'd add to that 2.6 billion shares, right? So this pushes up to maybe close to 2.7 billion. Not a big play, but that's 20K. But of course, if you did go a bit higher than that, maybe let's go. Let's go 20, 25, I guess. 25, 1, 2, 3. 4, what do we get? That 50K, yeah. So if you did 250 power, you came in with $48,000. That would give you another 200 million shares, right? So that would get us to 2.8. So that would be pretty decent. 50K over 900K. So that's quite a reasonable play. You're not over capitalizing, because when whales come into a system, they're too big. It's just ridiculous idea for them, right? They put all their capital at risk ultimately. So that could be a play as well. So this is some sort of thinking around that. Now, let's jump into some of the cool stuff. So that's the stats right now. We're sitting at 2.6 billion shares. And remember, that is getting a share of all the inflation. So every day at a declining rate, we get additional inflation. We're getting about 98,333 coins that start off at 100,000 on day one. So after 3 weeks, we're down at 98,333 on day 22. So it's slowly decreasing by 0.08% every day. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. But the price is so elevated, the pool payout is still near $1 million on the pool equivalent for that. Now, obviously, to realize that is a different story. But as I say, as more people come in, the more realizable that is. And with the roadmap and the buy and burn in place at the moment, and with the ETH and TITANX where it is and where it could be, some of these numbers become much more realistic as we move forward in time. And you got to forward think that and take your positions. It's very cool. Don't you love it? Don't you love crypto? Pretty cool. We got Duka Booz in the house there. Cheers, everybody. Good to see Duka Booz. And like I say, get into the chat there. Tell us about your experience after 3 weeks. I'd really love to know how you're feeling about your miners, your creations, I should say. How you feeling about staking if you're doing that. Things like that. Get in the chat there as well. And what you're bullish about the ecosystem. Let us know in the chat there. So let's jump over to TORUS. And this is a recent announcement, right? So it's huge TORUS announcement about the roadmap. And we're going to come back to this. So remember, we're going to look at the forward view. This is part of the additional. So we've got the buy and burn and the future roadmap, which is really surprising a lot of people, right? We've got the staking protocol, which everyone thought was amazing. And now we're getting this roadmap and ecosystem. It's pretty exciting. So far, let's have a look at the June dashboard. This is from Mike Dean. So big thank you, Mike Dean. And we've got US total combined 26 minutes ago update, 108,000 at the current price of TITANX and of Ethereum. $108,000 into the protocol inside 3 weeks and 7 hours and 7.5 hours. So 3 weeks and 7.5 hours. That's where we are right now. We've just started week 4. At the moment, we've also got 85.69 ETH that's been deposited. Like I say, a lot of that's been captured. I think it's about 85% or so. I have to double check that, but that's been captured by the treasuries there for the buy and burn and the buy and build, and of course the fractal as well, which we talked about, which is here. So it all gets captured by there. You can see we've got 33 here, 20.5 here, and the fractal's got another 13. And so as soon as it all hits 100, they can apply for that strategic ETH reserve. Definitely something they should do. Free marketing. And so that's kind of where we are there on that. Now let's jump into the TITANX. Now we've got 3.14 trillion TITANX, but it's always a bit higher than this number. I think it's closer to 3.2, 3.3. Let's go pull up a TITANX and have a look at the actual data site, and we're going to see what that looks like. I pushed the wrong button there. Push the old X. So this is TITANX, and we see the supply numbers, and we're going to scroll down. We've got TORUS at number 6 right now. It is higher, so it's 3.172. So it's 3,172 billion has gone into TORUS so far, and that doesn't include the ETH, right? So that's fantastic. We've got the buy and burn, obviously, there as well, the TITANX locked, and the LP as well. In fact, if we go to TITANX locked, let's have a look. The ranking is number 2, not number 6, but number 2 on locked, just below Ouroboros, the big liquidity fork on TITANX. That is huge. That's huge. So TORUS is in the mix there, doing some pretty cool things and climbing the ranks for this. So cool. Number 6 there on LP, and looking at the burned, it is sitting at number 6. So very exciting. And of course, we'll start tackling Helios and Inferno. I think it's just a matter of time. Right, TORUS is the one that on TITANX that is particularly alive right now. I would say, Helios and DragonX and others also doing some action, but really TORUS is on the move right now. So pretty exciting where that's going. And of course, it's also climbing the ranks. I just remembered on here as well. So TORUS there at number 14 right now on the list, and it's going to just keep climbing through this list, I guess, moving forward. So that's pretty cool. Let's go to the overall numbers, though. So we've got 10.8 million TORUS is expected in the future. Remember, the max possible is 125. So that's kind of where we are with 10.8. And this is what we're expecting in the future there. So how many days? Well, the future date is, day 1 plus 22 days pretty much, or 21 days. So we're looking at 110 days now. So 88 is the max. Plus you add on, we've been going for 21 days or so. So day 110 is the max now, and we're expecting 10.8 million tokens by then. Now, remember, the context was that at the moment, we only have a small fraction of that. We only have 17,300, and we've burned away 3,000 already. So, we haven't got a lot of tokens, and we've got 6,000 staked as well. So I guess we add all that up, that's 9,000. We're looking at about just over 26,000 tokens that have been in existence. We started with 20,000, so we only had an additional 6,000, and we've staked or burned the rest. So we're actually down from 20,000, which is our starting amount, down to 17,300. So, just a small base, but with really good results. And then in the future, we're going to have 10.8 million. But as I say, part of the secret stuff here is that we only have a certain amount at the beginning. We only have a certain addition, which is decreasing. So the total aggregated amount over time is increasing, but at a decreasing rate. And then, of course, we have shares. The more people coming in, the more shares there are, the more distributed that aggregated total is. So if we're beating out the decrease of 0.08% on the base amount, on the additional amount, and of course overall, then we are basically, it's getting distributed even more and more and more, which is part of the secret sauce of TORUS tokenomics, which is great. So it's really flipped TITANX on its head in terms of tokenomics, and it's a brilliant, brilliant move. Now, I wanted to quickly pick up the big famous chart that people are looking at, and that is the daily TORUS candles. So in TITANX, we were used to these getting really huge. I think on day 280, I think it was, we had a candle of like 14.8 trillion or something. Well, in this candle's decreasing, not increasing. So the more people come in, it decreases. It does the opposite of TITANX. So it's, you guys, whoa. That's why I said the title of the video, TORUS rocks TITANX, because it really is on multiple fronts doing that. And here we have gone below 2 million in the creation. Remember, we start off with about 4.7 million on day 2 or day 1, and now we're down below 2 million. So this thing's just getting pushed down, and we've got a long way to go still to get there. We're only on day 22, and this is day 89, right? So a lot more people can come in, and especially if we get a takeoff in adoption, that's going to even speed it up, right? And we've got the roadmap that may help do that, as well as the basic tokenomics and that big prize pool that's sitting there that people are looking at as well. Basically rewards, not really prize pool, rewards there. So that's kind of really cool. And so this is going down all the time, and we're getting more distribution amongst those that are creating, right? And so look at this, we're pushing forward in time, and we're seeing all these candles will get pushed down, relatively speaking, as we move forward with that additional amount. So yeah, pretty crazy. We've got a candle out here on the 109th. We obviously had a big jump in there. People really excited about creating, and we've had some good volume going in there with the powers, probably a lot of powers going in there. And we've got token creation of 706,000 there. So people, yesterday, 2 days ago, looking pretty good on day 109. So we're getting a bit of action here. Look at that last week. Actually, quite a bit of big players coming in here, doing some big amounts. But it's spreading out all that stuff across the whole profile of all these candles with the new shares. So pretty exciting there. So yeah, pretty cool. And so we can actually see the creation here. I said day 27 was the first day we were really going to, I think, see a bit of a challenge to the supply dynamics. And I think it's only just the beginning there. And that we got 3,400 coins by that time. And of course, it's a big jump from day 26. We're at 1,900. So we'll see whether that step change, because obviously a lot of people in the short term have a ROI type of mindset rather than a staking mindset. But maybe they'll change their mind too. We've got a big roadmap out now. Or maybe some of them will say, hey, let's set the price is pretty good. I'll take my profits. So we're going to see, but maybe we'll get a bit of a split thing. So we've got to find out what human behavior will do. But certainly the tokenomics drives people to go long in TORUS. And I think that's only getting better and better and better. So that's pretty exciting. In fact, I might go to the full screen here. Let's go to that. Probably make it a bit bigger there so you guys can see. So 3,400 on the mark here at the moment. And of course, as we get further in time, we're going to have to go to page 2. If we're going to double stuff here. So at the moment, we've got about 17,000 tokens. To double that up, day 43 almost, probably slightly day 45, we'll probably have double the amount of tokens in there. Obviously, we're going to continue to burn. It might be day 40 to 46 or 45 by the time we get to a doubling in supply. But then we've got staking too, right? So we get almost staking that could eat up some supply. So maybe it's day 47. So day 27, maybe we get a bit of a challenge. And by day 47, we may have doubled the supply. We have 7.5 million tokens out. So that would be a different world, right? Different world. But of course, Ethereum and everything, TITANX may reverse. Everything could be ultra FOMO. That's what we're expecting moving forward in time, and so on. So yeah, we just continue to climb with the supply. By day 59, we're getting 105,000 extra tokens, right? And then by the time we get day 62, it really starts to climb here. And with day 3 here, I'm assuming these are accumulated values. So accumulating, we're just adding additional, so that's going up in totals. That would make more sense reading this ones here. But eventually we're going to get to day 89, right? And look at day 87, we're up to 1.687 accumulatively. And let's jump into the one here. So this is creating and staking data with tokens coming out. And so by the time we get to day 89, we jump from day 88, we're at 1.9, and we jump with that big candle that we saw above to 3.89. So that is accumulative. And that's that adding, we're jumping from all these previous candles and adding this candle here, pretty much that big one there on day 89. So that gives you some of the idea. So we're going to have a very different environment by then, but we're also going to have, buy and burning may have stepped up because we're only down at the low end, right? 1 to 10%, so down at the low end, and also the roadmap with all these different things coming. And Unity is going to be out in August as well, which we're going to talk about. So that's kind of the profile there at the moment. That gets us all the way up to day 110. We've got 10.8 million. And of course, we're adding about 98,000 at the moment for the next couple of days. They'll go down to 97,000, 96,000 a day, as I say. So the max is 125 potential because we've got the buy and burn and a lot of supply things coming. So how much is actually going to be out in the market there? That's going to be another question, right? So very exciting with this whole model. Very, very cool indeed. All right, so that is kind of the overview of where we are after 3 weeks. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. And we've also talked about TITANX is at the bottom right now. So we get a reversal on this, guys. The value of TORUS can go up in US dollars. That'd be crazy. And of course, TORUS itself, to get into staking and other stuff, you're going to need a lot of TITANX, right? To create and stake, use ETH. ETH goes by TITANX. So TORUS is pushing a ton of demand on TITANX. So I think, TORUS is rocking TITANX. Could be ultimately the savior of TITANX, as it were. We do know that Jake Sharp's working on his own utility for X28. So imagine having these compounding things layering on each other. And we've got other developers in the TITANX community like Stevie D, the mad scientist, the dude, Ali Kane and Crypto Utah. There's many developers out there doing cool things. A lot of cool things happening here that could start to push this up. And picking off the bottom of TITANX could be pretty beautiful as well. So there's a couple of plays there. But TORUS definitely a major catalyst here already, helping TITANX in a big way and burning off tons of TITANX, right? So pretty awesome. In fact, how much has it burned? Well, that's the last metric, right? 182 billion tokens now burned through TITANX already in 21 days. So, bravo to that. That's all we can say. I think that's pretty amazing. So looking pretty good there. Let's jump over to some of the news. So that we've kind of done a review of everything, I think there. So kind of cool. And, we get all the, TITANX on the uprise, TORUS on the uprise, more foam adoption, roadmap, buying and burning. We get ETH on the pump. It's a glorious run all the way to Christmas and beyond in 26, right? So it's exciting times. We've got record price here in the ratio with a small supply at the moment. And of course, we're pragmatic about having a bigger supply in the future, dramatically so. But we'll see all the supply and dynamics adjust as we move forward with ultimately high longer term value than normal in staking protocols. That's kind of the goal there for that. It's kind of the end goal there. So that's kind of cool. Let's jump away from that. That's kind of the news there. Now you obviously can get access to that on TORUS site, which I posted in the chat there, so you can find the charts down here. They've got the TORUS token there and the deck screen and check that out. You can obviously check out the create and stake contracts and the buying process as well, and definitely go through all the docs as well. So if you jump on the docs, it gives you a full breakdown of how it all works. And I strongly also recommend watching Cryptographics. He's got tons of tutorials there, and you can access that on YouTube and, of course, on X. He's doing an X space right now as we speak. So there we go, ramping it up there. So let's jump into some of the news, because I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Brendan says, my favorite thing about TORUS is the time period it was launched. I know. It was launched when Bitcoin was like going through 120K or whatever. I think it was that day when it went to 123. It was just unbelievable timing. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. Great observation there. So TORUS there, huge TORUS announcement. So this was when was this? This was 2:30 a.m. So on the 29th. So this is 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and we had this announcement, which is pretty huge. So we had the TORUS launch, and that by itself, with the tokenomics, as I've gone through with my sort of layman's version of it, is fantastic. I think it's amazing. But now we've got this roadmap, and of course, I had Cryptographics on the show a couple of weeks ago, and of course, he was very clever with not talking too much about the future. He was playing poker face there, which is all fun and games, right? But of course, now we're starting to see not only we've got amazing TORUS, but we've got use cases for TORUS coming up, which is pretty exciting. So this is really cool. So roadmap there. So huge announcement, TORUS. We are only 18 days into TORUS, but the building has not stopped. We've only just begun. In the coming months ahead, TORUS will be launching an added feature of the ability to move your creations or stakes. So that's both creations or stakes via encapsulated NFTs. This is basically putting code around these creations and giving them all these extra features and ability to move them out of your wallet, put into DeFi protocols and things like that. So really opening up the use cases, and this is great for demand for TORUS, but also great for reducing supply as well. So it's a double hitter, and really could lead to many things. So encapsulated TORUS positions, fantastic. What does this mean exactly? This means built into the TORUS.win app, you will be able to simply click on a button which encapsulates your TORUS position into an NFT and gives you the ability to move your creations or to another wallet if it gets compromised. So it's good for security. Gift creations, of course, if you want to give one of your creations to a family member or somebody like that, or a friend, or stakes, or do some peer-to-peer trade. You could do that too. Or stakes and sell the NFTs on secondary markets like OpenSea. Obviously, we've got a few on Pulse Chain when they come to Pulse Chain with Unity, and whatever else can be dreamed up of. So we're expecting a lot of potential use cases here. Very, very exciting. That's going to eat up some of that supply. Normally, we see we've got 17,000 tokens. We're heading to 10.8 million right now, and that's going to continue to increase at about 98,000 for a few days, etc. Well, this is going to be able to use some of that token and put it to use, which is very, very cool. So obviously the main use is staking in the protocol of TORUS, where you got the really high APR over 3,000% right now. But actually in the future, you're going to have many other use cases helping keep the value and build in value, layers of value into TORUS. So pretty cool. This opens up a world of possibilities for secondary market uses and use cases, builders. This opens up an entirely new market for use cases of these ETPs. Now, of course, you can add in use cases where you're getting into getting yield on yield, right? So I think we see Trade Brawl at the moment with Ali Kane. They've got this big prize pool, and of course, I think they're putting a lot of their capital into TORUS miners, if I remember rightly, to creating new TORUS and getting shares from that point of view. So remember, when you're creating or staking, you're really getting shares. It's quite a good thing about it. Who will be the first to build on and integrate these encapsulated TORUS positions? Plus, this may be the foundation for something much bigger coming down the road. And this is the big tease, right? So not only was having it encapsulated opening up TORUS to multiple use cases that are currently in market, right? Normally you wouldn't be able to touch them until they're mature, right? But this may open a foundation of something much bigger coming down the road, which is super exciting. And that world has never been seen before. So something new. If TORUS wasn't new enough, we're going to have something else new. So we're really getting some really cool innovations here from Cryptographics. More details on this will be released as we come closer to completion of this deeper layer in the months to come. Now, obviously, we've got the first day 89 with the first big player. Of course, that's getting distributed more and more to more people. And now we're going to have use cases, and people are going to have options in front of them. Very, very cool. So you would see at the moment, even though you're getting TORUS out there, it would be going down every day. Why does it go down every day? It's because people coming in after you, right? And they're getting shares, and that shares are they're diluting your share pool, and therefore people can make strategies about doing more, getting more shares, etc. But it's getting distributed to more and more people there. And of course, the last 4 or 5 days, we've seen a pickup in those candles out out near day 110 at the moment. So yeah, more details will release as we come closer to the completion of this deeper layer in the months to come. So yeah, Mr. Poker Face Cryptographics has got a nice, beautiful roadmap, building, expanding an ecosystem out there. I love it. So very exciting them. We aim to get this out as soon as possible, though a projected date will be held off for now. Now, the other thing, of course, is what other protocols, obviously Cryptographics has got a very, very bullish roadmap ahead. But of course, on top of that, you add more value when other developers come in and put really good use cases as well on it, particularly DeFi use cases, I would say. But maybe more GameFi ones like Trade Ball as well. We aim to get this out as soon as possible, though a projected date will be held off for now. Prepare yourselves for the age of TORUS. It's here, and it's waiting for nobody. So fantastic stuff there from the team there. I just realized I hadn't reposted that. So kind of cool. So I'm going to post that now. A little bit late, but hey, we'll get there at the end. All right, so that is for TORUS. Let's just jump back and see what they've said since the 29th. Axiom said this is massive for TORUS, and what's massive for TORUS is massive for the entire TITANX system. That's why I'm saying, TITANX, TORUS is really rocking TITANX, and may end up, people say, well, may end up in the case. There's a lot of other cool developers doing cool things, including Jake Sharp, but may say that, TORUS was the one that saved TITANX. I don't. It's not necessarily the case. Obviously, TITANX is sitting on, potentially $100 million worth of ETH, and maybe even bigger, right? So if ETH goes to the top end of people's calculations, 60,000, there could be $400 million sitting of ETH sitting in TITANX. So you got to look at it that way too, right? Pretty crazy. So that is kind of where we are right now. I'll just have a look through some of these things. I've got a question there from Brennan. I'll get to that in a minute. Obviously, Ali Kane, another developer in the old TITANX there, has got TORUS in Trade Brawls. It's the part of the prize pool there, which is going up in value all time. I think it's now $8,000. This is $4,400 on day 29, and that's going up as well. I'm hoping to get Ali Kane on there too. TORUS Trade Brawl is running out, so if you want to get registered, it's got a couple of days to go, maybe a day and a half, 2 days. So definitely you could check out Trade Brawls as well with Ali Kane. If you want to check that out, we might have a quick look at that in a minute. Actually, let's do that just at the end of the show. And of course, we've got more stuff coming. So cryptographics, you have my attention, Fade or ORX, Orbros, and Super Shadowy, of course, the founder there, at your own risk. And of course, we've got some good stuff happening there. And so we may very well see, or TORUS on there too, right? TORUS on the old Orbros there as collateral. So that's another use case straight out of the gate that we could see for liquid TORUS. That could eat up quite a bit of the TORUS that's coming out, guys, as well. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And TORUS there, obviously he did a live stream about that. There's a lot of cool alpha in that. If you want to check that out, you can do that. So definitely check that. You can find that from obviously the website. And of course, Shane says the gamification for this ecosystem is going to be off the charts. Man, awesome work. Yeah, like I say, I think we always like developers that are doing frontier work in crypto that are really offering to push the boundaries. And the cryptographics is definitely doing that. We're excited about that. In my past live stream, we talked about Jacob and of course PUSD ALGO and Mafia and on-chain bet and all that sort of stuff. So we got some really talented people around and doing some pretty exciting projects. So really, really cool to see that. And of course, we know that Brandon has helped do a lot of support work with his development team, formerly Rick to Riches. Well, back it was Brag to Riches as well, I should say. Not Rick to Riches, that's another YouTuber. But yeah, this is such. Rick to Riches is in TORUS, by the way. Rick to Riches is in TORUS. This is truly a massive milestone for TORUS in only 21 days. The best part, we haven't even seen anything yet. TORUS is getting warmed up. Welcome to the age of TORUS. So great there with the graphics. Everything done in top fashion by cryptographics. He's just like his little own genius, isn't he? Little own genius at his corner of the crypto world, doing some pretty amazing things. So cool stuff there. A huge milestone for TORUS. Day 89 is shrinking fast. Like I said, below 2 million now. You see the magic is starting to work on this protocol. Really is pretty cool. 6 hours ago, TORUS made another all-time high against TITANX. As I said, it's now higher than this. He's got this at 50 million, but it's now 52 million. It's gone even higher than that at the time. The madness indeed. So that's pretty crazy there. We've got people posting out Rick to Riches. That's the another influence I was talking about. My TORUS creation is officially up 33x from just 0.0069 to 82.2 TORUS, $157 in only 19 days. The power of TORUS is wild. They're earning there. So pretty exciting. Now, obviously, we're expecting some adjustment to that, but now we've got this roadmap and the buy and burn offsetting, and we've got the distribution of inflation. All those three factors there now offsetting the growth of inflation from that 70,000 to 10.8 and whatever it will be in the future. So we've got these forces of supply and demand. It's going to be great. It's going to be great to see. And then we've got obviously TITANX down low. It goes up. ETH goes up. I mean, we've got so many cool things that are going to play out. And it's all going to play out. Particularly, we'll see a lot of it play out in the next 6 months, pretty much. Where we got July already. So August, yeah. So 6 to 9 months, let's say. And it's going to be a fun ride, guys. It's going to be a fun ride. Obviously, we've got TORUS has now got its first X space in there. There's 31 in there, so well done to TORUS there on that one. I might repost that after the show. But that's kind of where we are on TORUS. And man, this is exciting, guys. And of course, another great developer in TITANX is Stevie D, the mad scientist. We're looking forward to his Bitcoin one as well. So we'll talk more about that when he does launch. I think he's probably waiting for the timings, my guess. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, cryptographics also is out there as well, and been talking about stuff. So cryptographics there, whole new secondary and layer market and layer is being enabled by TORUS, and of course we talked about that. So very cool. Posting some of the yields that people are earning. Now, Mike Dean has a whole dashboard. If you're using the dashboard, you can track your TORUS as well. So definitely check that out. And you can also use Titan utils as well to track there as well. I might post that in the chat there if you guys want to track your TORUS. But that's definitely a cool site as well. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with it actually. Track TORUS and TITANX, so you can check that out. So that is the site there. Bam. I see a question there, Brendan. I'll get to it in a minute. And so yeah, we'll just go going through these. So yeah, kind of cool. That's just gone live actually on the 29th. TITANX utils. So and check that out. It's got a really nice UI. Look at that. Really kind of neat little setup there. It's got all the projects too on TITANX. So including TORUS there. Look at that. Look at the percentage on TORUS compared to all the others at the moment. Obviously, we're waiting for that TITANX turnaround, which could be where we are now. Could be. Maybe it's another month away. We'll see. But TORUS is definitely playing its part to help lift TITANX, that's for sure. 3.2 trillion TITANX has gone into TORUS so far. Pretty cool. Axiom says, let me get this straight. I get to be early in TORUS and earn the max possible multipliers. Then in a month or so, I get to travel back in time and be early in TORUS all over again, except this time it's called Unity. Of course, we're talking about this. We talked about Unity is coming to Pulse Chain. So not only we got this roadmap for TORUS, I guess part of that is kind of adjacent is the Unity. Now Unity is coming to Pulse Chain too, so a version of TORUS is pretty cool, and it's on Pulse Chain and gives me exposure to PulseX and the Hexco community and Leviathan of direct marketing and Stack Fund Insanity. So you're going to benefit in Unity from all the stuff that's happening on Pulse Chain, which is incredible. And of course, I talked about that in a previous live stream. So it is going to be absolutely crazy, guys. It's going to be absolutely crazy. We've got more stuff coming from cryptographics with Unity there. The supply of TITANX is getting scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. TORUS is absorbing massive amounts of TITANX. So that's a big key part, and maybe the trigger for TITANX to get that reversal. And if you buy the low, and that's how we work in crypto, right? And you go up to the upside. At the moment, of course, you're getting a bit of relativity play. People coming over to Pulse Chain because of the pump. Understandable, you get more gains. You can go back and get more. There's all these sort of plays going on. And if you made the right calls, that all works out pretty well for you. Let's see. Wales moving to Pulse Chain. See previous from the X post. And so we're getting a bit of back and forth switching there. You have my attention. Ouroboros is another key part there. That could be a huge supply thing for TORUS. Looking forward to see news around that. Beautiful stuff there. Beautiful stats on TITANX, looking good. TORUS liquidity appreciation post. TORUS is climbing. This is from Mike Dean, the creator of the dashboard of the TITANX, of course. Climbing the ranks there, looking very good on the leaderboard. Alec Kane, of course, with trade brawls there, that use case for TORUS as well, and a big prize pool. Pretty fun stuff happening here with the old cryptographics. So looking pretty good. More live streams for cryptographics only 7 hours ago. Of course, he covered the first 3 weeks on that show. If you want to check that out, definitely do that. I might post that as well in case you guys want to check that out. And let's post that. So that is cryptographics 21-day show. So if you want more from the founder himself, go to the next level. Then check that out. So let me post that. And I haven't even watched the full show. I've watched part of it, but haven't watched the whole thing yet. So definitely worth watching that out for sure. Get the cheats out of TITANX system. Time to go up, says Brennan. Yeah. Well, I think it may very well be there, Brennan. It's got to be damn close right now. Imagine picking the bottom of TITANX right now and moving to upside. Obviously, we've seen relative plays moving to Pulse Chain for the pump. So that definitely helped bring TITANX down a bit further as well. There's a lot of crossover community, right? And of course, crossover influences. Of course, cryptographics is one. I'm one. Brandon was one, I guess. There's a few others there out there too. So Rick to Riches, etc. TORUS made new all-time highs. And of course, I talked about that. The yields have been amazing like that from Rick to Riches there. So kind of cool. So that is all the stuff happening there right now. But I wanted to bring in Unity, right? So Unity, I'm pretty sure I got that on here too. So this is coming to Pulse Chain. So I think it's unity.win. Yeah, this is the version coming to Pulse Chain, guys. 11 hours ago. Look at that. Unity, huge Unity update. 11 hours ago. The cat's out of the bag. Unity is launching in August. Woohoo! And has ended its final order. You've been warned. The age of Unity is coming to Pulse Chain in August, guys. So you're going to have TORUS on Pulse Chain. Obviously, instead of using ETH, it's going to be using Pulse. This is super huge, right? Very, very cool. So I don't know. I guess I've got to check the white paper. But this is huge, right? Huge. So let's go back in here. I think we got the website. What's the last update we had? Yeah, we're going to go to the website here on Unity. So unity.win. This is on Pulse Chain, guys. So check this out too. So bam, there it is coming on Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain version. Yeah, so Pulse Chain August, I guess. August Unity. And you get to see launch, and basically it's like TORUS on Pulse Chain. So cool. We've got everything there, though. You can check all the details. You can front run the knowledge. Knowledge is power, and power is mucho grandes. So definitely check that out. That was TORUS. But before we get into TORUS, Unity, let's quickly jump back into some of these questions that Brennan had in the chat there. Where'd it go, Brennan? Up here somewhere. Super. Have you done any calculations on the creation supply to date? And if the buy and burn was activated to eat up that supply, how many tokens will be reduced from the 125 million max? No, I haven't done any of that mathematics. I'm running spreadsheets, but not on that point. But could do that. So maybe something we can do together in the Discord. How about that? That could be something we do. It's definitely been a thought of mine. I've had the thought, but not done anything on it because we've got so many things going on right now. We're doing promotions, we're doing live streams, we're doing other stuff in the background as well. publications. It's pretty busy. But yeah, it's definitely a good thought experiment there. We can do it on a spreadsheet. But yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm focused, I guess, just on the simple terms on the fundamentals coming in to eat up some of that supply. So yeah, let's see how that goes. But we could do some modeling around that. Truly the first of its kind and pulse chain is Unity coming. So we looked at TORUS, and this is coming down the tracks, guys. This could be pretty cool. Buy and burn and build. 92% of all the economic energy that enters Unity is used for both buy and burn utility. So that gives you a bit of an answer there, Brennan. And of course, I think I mentioned 85 before, so it's more like 92 on that number. So there we go. They got the white paper. And so, yeah, coming to pulse chain, this is going to be huge, guys. And then we're going to have a relativity play, right, between the yields on TORUS on Ethereum, yields on pulse chains. We'll have this play off as well, and the relative roadmaps. And of course, they complement each other in many ways. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy to see this. Unity blends the greatest innovations of crypto into one simple system. Really, really powerful there. So, is this closer to the Holy Grail? Is this closer to the Holy Grail? Pretty exciting. So create and earn. You use PulseX. So I said Pulse, but it's actually PulseX. Actually, you can use Pulse too. So you can use PulseX. So on TORUS, you can use TITANX and you can use Ethereum. So Ethereum is the sort of the main coin. Here you can actually use PulseX as well, not just the fee coin Pulse, which is pretty interesting to create. Choose your power, the amount of Pulse in PulseX you wish to use, and the duration up to 88 days. So that's pretty interesting on that front. Stake and earn, stake your Unity tokens, but by paying 5% of the equivalent. So there is a cost to staking, right? So that's pretty interesting. Even if we get a price pull down to 10 million on a TORUS, for example, there is still a 5% fee on the staking side. So that's a cool mechanism as well. So kind of cool. Still has the PulseX buy and burn, the Unity buy and burn, and the Unity buy and build, and the Genesis 369, which is pretty cool with the old 369 number there as well. Let's jump into the supply metrics. We've got that there also on Unity. Let's go to create Unity. I'm just trying to look for something in particular here. When choosing to create Unity by depositing Pulse or PulseX, you will be issuing a number of Unity tokens. Creation period. During the creation period, you also earn additional Unity from the Unity pool. Unity can be created over a period of 101 to 88 days, of course. It's got similar mechanisms there. Let me just jump through there. We've got the formula for that. Creating a single day with 100 power on day one will generate 11.36 Unity. It's in the play there. Unity becomes increasingly difficult to create. Over the first 5 years, creating Unity will become 331% more difficult there as well. The cost to create with 100 power will be in PulseX. This amount will be released closer to the launch date to ensure the appropriate number is selected. So this could be hyper bullish for Pulse and PulseX as well. If we get massive FOMO into there, that could be pretty massive. Oh, am I not showing the screen? Sorry about that. My bad. My bad. Not showing the screen. All right. So yeah, we're doing pretty well up to that point. That's thick game theory, C6 Fred. It certainly is thick game theory. All right. Yeah, we'll knock it out in Discord there for that stats. Hey, thanks for letting me know about the site. So this is the site, Unity there. Bam. And let me come back to the top here. But this is the overview. This is the website here. So this is the website. So you can see where I started when I started my commentary. There's the website for Unity. And, of course, I hit the right paper there. And we got to the docs on Unity. So you can, like I said, get front knowledge if you read it up early and get used to that. So kind of cool. Yeah, look at that. Kind of neat. So PulseX and Pulse, that's going to be the play there for creating Unity, stake Unity. So you're about to stake Unity as well. So that's cool. You can either, to stake, a protocol fee paid in either PulseX or Pulse is required. And then Unity as well, you can earn Unity. So create Unity, stake Unity, earn Unity. Of course, you're earning Unity there directly from the Unity pool. What else have we got going there? I think that's pretty much it. Unity pool here. That is the pool there as well. The number begins at 100,000 tokens on one day, reduces, etc. So kind of cool. Over 20 years, less than 25 million tokens were distributed. So same as TORUS on the play. And we got the profile of that inflation. And as I said, this inflation is only as more people enter, the more shares there are, right? So it gets distributed amongst more people creating. Now, how many unique people are there? It's a different question. But in terms of creations and staking, that is the case. PulseX and Pulse distribution. The buy and burn contract uses 64% of PulseX and Pulse entering the protocol via the creating and staking. It works by first purchasing PulseX with the available Pulse and then using PulseX to buy and burn Unity. So there we are. There's a mechanism there. Phase 2, the buy and burn contract takes in 84% of both PulseX and Pulse into the protocol through creating and staking. And of course, the Fractal stores 28% of PulseX and Pulse. So just a different allocation. On the TORUS, we've got TITANX and ETH. Here we've got PulseX and Pulse from the looks of it. Grace period penalties. So that's kind of cool. Interesting. I mean, it could have used Bridgeton TITANX, right? Could have been another alternative. I think he mentioned something like that. I just have a faint memory, but I can't remember the exact thing there about that kind of play. All right, so that's it. It's got audits and contracts. Obviously, the last update 10 hours ago from Unity was that they were in final audits. So that gives you an idea around the audits page here. Yeah, we'll have, I guess, audits, contracts there. Obviously, socials in the mix as well. X, Telegram, and website is there as well. So actually got a Telegram too. I don't think I'm actually in that. I'm not sure, but let's click on it and see whether I'm in it. Bam, let's go see. Maybe I'm definitely in TORUS, but not sure if I'm in Unity. I'm not in Unity. There we go. So I'm not in Unity, but I'm now member number 173. I think I'm number 173 there. So if you guys want to get in early, you'll be in the top 200. You'll be in the top 200. That'd be pretty cool. Now, I don't know if do I have to click on anything. I don't think so. So it's kind of cool. So there we go. I've got Hexcan Hercules in their chat there right now. Don't know who that is, but they're in there. So I'm just going to say hello in the Telegram. Hello. Hello, world. I'm sure cryptographics will appreciate that. All right, so that is in the mix. So yeah, if you haven't joined up to Telegram Unity, you get in the top 200, guys, and be early on Pulse Chain because you guys know it's going to go lit. It's going to go lit. It's going to go take off. It's going to take off. You got to remember, cryptographics is one of the biggest influences on Pulse Chain, as well as obviously being a founder now. He's actually one of the biggest ones, and he's in the big list. The big list. If you guys ever remember, do you remember PulseTube? It's got a list of the big ones, the mediums, and the small ones. And I can't remember. I think it's over 10,000, something like over 7,000, something. And of course, he's in that group as well. So pretty cool. All right. So yeah, exciting times, guys. TORUS, encapsulated creations and stakes. More DeFi coming, and of course, Brawl, and yeah, and something big coming as well. But I think it's got a lot of things planned. Other developers could be using it as well. That quickly gets a lot of demand on TORUS. It's getting distributed really widely. So this future inflation, it's going to probably face all those different dynamics. So it's going to be really fun to see this play out. And of course, now Unity coming to Pulse Chain, just going to blow up. I think and this is going to help not only Pulse and PulseX, but also probably just blow up. We're going to have a lot of people into it. So when I say blow up, it's a good thing, right? Good thing. So it's kind of cool. So nice stuff there. Now, I just want to mention that Ali Kane's already, got Trade Wars going. He's done, obviously, the founder of Pulse Wars, now called Trade Wars. And this is open for a couple of days. So registration is open. And this is Ali Kane, one of my favorite people out there in the community. Is just a wonderful guy and does some amazing stuff there. So he is getting ready. He's got, done a stream, I think, with cryptographics and your early days here on the registration. Only a couple of days left to go, but definitely well worth getting into trade brawls here. I'm just trying to look at the website. I've got the website here. He did a stream with the cryptographics, but definitely well worth getting in. I think there's a prize pool here. I would otherwise get into this myself, but just a little busy. So that's the only reason why I haven't. But this is Trade Brawl here. So check this out. I think a lot of you may enjoy this. So if you want into trading that, you can enter, and there's a big prize pool. Pretty low entry relative to the prize pool. So, and you got a good chance if you're good at picking some protocols. Everyone's got a good, decent chance. You've been around a lot. So that is it there. Trade Brawl. Get in there. The time is ticking. Let me see here. We've got the website. Let's go to the website and check that out. So that is the X account. You can follow the links. Trade Wars is right here from Ali Kane, highly respected developer in TITANX, and come to Pulse Chain too and Pulse Wars, and very cool. I think it's called Enter Titan TORUS Titans. It's got the gameplay and the white paper up there, so if you want to learn more, and the FAQ. But we're going to enter the Titan Wars there. That is I guess it's the how to. Where's the website here? There must be a website around. I haven't been on to myself, so I have to double check there. Enter Pulse Wars Season 2. So it's Season 2. I think there's a website at the front end, isn't it? Let's just try to enter Season 2. I don't know whether this is taking us to trade wars. No, it's this Pulse chain, is it? Pulse chain there. I'm not sure what the link. I thought that would take me to it, but where's the entry? Where's the entry here? It's got to be somewhere. Gameplay, is that it there? Gameplay, I don't know. 3 steps: buy an entry ticket, select your portfolio, and progress to win. And you get some of these cool NFTs, which is pretty cool. But I'm actually trying to find the TORUS. Let's see if we can find the TORUS Trade Brawl on TITANX. Okay, so this is on TITANX Hub, which from Mike Dean, Crypto Fantasy League. 4 rounds, 4 winners. Winner takes the Bashir. That's the game wallet there. What is Trade Brawl there? Trade Brawl. Let's go back. I think it's going to take us back to the website, but let's see if it take. I'm trying to find. I thought there was a front end for it. That's the one I'm trying to find. So yeah, registration. Here, so you can register here. You can click the open button, I think, and of course there's 8 out of 200. So you're in early, right? And there's only 2 days and 14 hours to get into it. So if there's something that you're keen on, get into it. I think that the entry is quite reasonable too. Entry fee is 0.0275 ETH. So I'm not quite sure how much that is actually off the top of my head. Let's go have a look. While we're here. This is a bit of a bonus round. But let's go have a look down here and let's put that in. So that's $100. $100. It's got a really good entry. So there we go, $100. And what else? We got the prize pool's $9,900, and there's 8 players so far. I don't know what it'll be by the time we get 2 days in. But spread it around. If you like people that like doing trading games, then get into it. You get cool NFTs. It's really cool setup from the looks of it. So definitely check it out. There's 890 TORUS in the game wallet right now. 5 TORUS creations. I do believe that they're putting some of the capital that you put into TORUS things, so it all becomes like a pool game. But yeah, max players 200, duration 4 weeks, 4 rounds, max entry 10 per wallet, prize winners top 30 players, so it gets distributed. And of course TORUS per round. So obviously as TORUS moves around, this value will move around. So just remember that, all the preamble we just talked about. Trades per round, max 4, pick 4 tokens, etc. So you only have to pick 4 tokens, I think, for the game, and so on. So yeah, live TORUS creations, 9,000 there, and they've got all the progress there at the moment. What is that? That's the progress of the TORUS at the moment. So this is the Trade Brawl account with TORUS, and it's got all their different TORUSes that they've got running right now, and it's got the TORUS positions, top 30 payout breakdown at the moment. So that's the first place is going to be 20%. All the way down to 26th to 30th place, get 0.8% of the pool. So you actually might get more money than you put in if TORUS holds up, right, and blows up. So that is it from Trade Brawl, and you can find the link there through the X account. But I'll also post the link to this as well in case you want to check it out directly. That is Trade Brawl there from Ali Kane. So if you like trading games, I think that's the one for you. Obviously, Pulse Wars was a pretty decent game too, and I think they had pretty big prizes. So that is pretty much it on the mark. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. And I think we're going to leave it there. That was that. 1 hour and 3 minutes. Oh my God, I did an hour and 33 minutes on the first live stream. Now I've done another hour. This is crazy. What a crazy day in crypto. It's so much fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. TORUS, Unity, Trade Brawl. We covered it all. And of course, 3 weeks now. We're in the 4th week of TORUS. We got Unity launching in August. Looks like Trade Brawl's only 2.5 days away. It's exciting times. And Pulse Chain is probably going to get back on the move, no doubt, after having a little breather. Just let those RSIs cool, and then maybe rumors of listings, right? Rumors of listings coming into place. At the moment, we've got a bit of a pullback in the Pulse Chain, just a little bit of profit taking. Hopefully, we'll hold some of those good support levels we talked about in the first live stream and game on. But in the meantime, TORUS there on the move. And of course, you can go watch Cryptographics in the X space now. If you want to find out more, you can talk to the founder himself. I might jump in there for a little bit as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch me again for tomorrow's show. I could have some very big guests on tomorrow if I can get that booking in from 2 big teams on Pulse Chain. There'll be something different for the show as well. Don't forget, if you're not following on X, smash the follow button there as well. And of course, I have got some of the threads there around TORUS in my main X thread, so you can catch up any of the details and join up, follow Cryptographics, and get involved there as well. All right, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Big shout out and congratulations to Cryptographics and Ali Kane, and wish them all the best moving forward. We're going to hopefully catch up with Cryptographics and Ali Kane in the future very soon. All right, take care. Bye for now.